Hello! It's been a while since I did a sit-down video. The last few weeks have just been the frustrated kind. It was brought upon by the ultimate move that I guess everybody does, where they want work so bad, and then when they finally have work, like a lot of work, they procrastinate and then feel bad about not doing it immediately. So that's the guilt trap that I'm a part of right now. And speaking of guilt traps, the title of this video, essentially I've not played the piano in a long time. So before I actually play it, mostly because I am again procrastinating doing that, because it is a daunting task to do it at all and then to do it on video camera and probably ultimately fail because I haven't practiced in so long. I'm just going to avoid doing it for a while. But just to tell you a little bit about the background of music and piano that I have. My parents got me a piano for my 5th birthday and I am 21, so my piano is very old. It is 16 years old. I still know math. It is a 16-year-old piano. That is pretty old. It's an electric piano, but it has weighted keys, and if you are going to even try telling me that keyboards are the same as pianos, I will come and hunt you down. Just letting you know that. Pianos are not the same as keyboards. I got a piano for my 5th birthday, and for my 6th birthday I started learning the piano. I was allowed 1 year of just frolicking on the keys, which was a lot of fun. I don't remember any of it, but I assume it was fun. And from the 6th year of my life to the 17th year of my life, I had formal training in piano and Western classical music. In my 11th standard, I stopped playing the piano because of tendinitis in both my elbows. I got tendinitis in both my elbows because of a combination of too much piano playing, because I was preparing for my 7th grade piano exam, and also because 11th grade is the year where you have to double down and work really hard. Have to study so much in the 11th grade, which ultimately you spend all that energy in choosing MCQs, where you just fill up little bubbles. But we can talk about how the entrance exam system sucks some other day. Essentially, I stopped playing the piano, then I quit piano lessons in my 11th grade, and I finished my 7th grade piano exam before that. So I was supposed to go on to do my 8th grade of piano, and I had been extremely excited about being able to finish all grades of piano before going to college. I was doing the Trinity exam system, and that really punched me in the gut that I wasn't even going to finish, and that was the first guilt trap that I was set into myself. I had an absolutely amazing piano teacher, Naomi, and I completely fell out of contact with her. And that's the second guilt trap that I put myself in, because I still kick myself for not being in contact with her, and with every day it just passes on being like, no, it's too late to contact her. You know, I mean, I'm sure you have that friend in your life or that person in your life that you wished you had contacted sooner and then you just never did, and so you just don't because you would think it's too late and you feel bad about it, you know? Today's just an all-around day of feeling bad about yourself, yeah! Those two things combined led me to just stop playing the piano entirely, not even for myself at home. And I am now in my 3rd to 4th year of college, which means I've not played for 4 years. Coupled, of course, with 100 billions of reasons. Because like when you come up with the first 2 excuses, then everything else you just pile onto it. Like, I lost my piano textbook. It's not a textbook, it was a spiral bound of all the pieces that I loved and learned. And it had all the markings that my piano teacher had made on it, like the finger and everything was on it. And when I lost that, I was like, well, it's over now. I'm never going to play the piano again because that's my Bible. It's gone now. So that happened, and I used that as a reason to not play the piano. When I went to college, there wasn't a piano there, so I used that reason as to not play the piano. And then I convinced the college to buy a piano, and I still never played it. I hope they're not watching this, but I still never played the piano. In the hope of playing the piano again, I started teaching piano to a few students at college, and I still never played the piano. And if there are any piano teachers watching, they'll know what I'm saying is true. Just because you teach piano doesn't mean that you play it consistently. In fact, you might even play it lesser. It doesn't mean that you don't know how to play the piano. Like, if any of the naysayers, like, how can you teach the piano if you don't play it? They are not connected. My piano teacher, one of the best piano teachers in the world, has stopped playing the piano for herself for many years. Teaching people still didn't make me play the piano. And when I say that I didn't play the piano for 4 years, I don't mean I didn't touch it for 4 years. Of course, I taught students, I played the scales for them, etc. But I never played the piano for more than 10 minutes, and I never played it more then once in a month at least. So 10 minutes a month is not going to be counted as actually playing the piano. And I didn't probably played scales once in a while, but I didn't go back to Western classical music. I attempted to teach myself a new piece called Asturias, which is also it's a beautiful Spanish piano piece. 10 minutes into trying to read the sheet music, I gave up. Not because I couldn't play it, but because I just felt bad. Whatever it is, it's a huge guilt trap that I piled year upon year upon year upon year, and I finally just gave up even trying to play the piano. And finally, it is the 3rd or 4th month of lockdown, and I decided that the only way I was going to ever play the piano again was by A, moving it to my room. Don't get me wrong, I felt bad every time I came home and didn't touch my piano. So it's been in my room for a week now, and it's been haunting me, and it's just there. It's like right there. And if I don't play it, I will probably go crazy. So that's why I moved it into my room. And I also decided to film a video because I have no video ready for tomorrow. I just decided that, hey, let's do this. I'm going to play the piano after 4 years of not playing the piano. So be gentle. I probably don't know how to play anything that I used to play. And I don't have any of my sheet music because I lost all of it. I'm going to play from memory. And if nothing else, this is a scientific experiment to hopefully prove that muscle memory works. Let's see if I remember my scales, and ultimately I want to see if I remember the piece Reverie by Debussy, which was the piece de resistance of my piano learning. It was the best piece that I've ever learned, and it was by far my biggest accomplishment. And as a true concert pianist, which I used to perform, I will take a bow and go forward. Please wish me luck. There's no going back now, it's there. E, middle E, stays down when you press it. So if the scales sound a little weird, it's because of that, not because of lack of practice. I'm going to start with scales. Let's see. I'm going to now move on to one of the easiest pieces that I can remember, Packable Canon or Canon in D, which I learned completely by ear when I was probably not even a teenager. So let's see. I know that it's in D major, Canon in D, so let's see if I can figure it out. D major, C sharp and F sharp, okay? You know this. well, that was okay. Before I go on, I'm gonna go into Reverie. I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna wear glasses because I can't see a thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super nervous because I know that if I screw it up, I will stop. And if anyone who plays any instrument knows that if you're trying to play something by muscle memory and you stop in the middle, you will not be able to figure it out. You have to start all the way from the beginning again. Like the less you think about a piece, the better you play it. And I also know that if I mess up more than 3 times, I will be disheartened and stop. So here goes nothing. How does it start? Wow. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm so disheartened. Oh, what did you expect? Like, now you know it's real. I have not practiced this piece. Petition for me to go print out the sheet music. Maybe. Is this even on? Can't tell. Hope it's not. If this is causing you major cringe, this is not the video for you. This is a real life video where people mess up and people are not perfect, even though I try to be a perfectionist when you play the piano, and it's not good to be a perfectionist. Because then you just keep playing the same part over and over again until you get it. And when you don't get it, it's frustrating. Ah, it's even worse than before. I've returned. I can promise you that I have not practiced in the time that the light has changed. I was trying to take out everything from the card in my camera so that I could, because it was full, the card was full. And then FCPX Final Cut Pro decided to crash. So I really hope I didn't lose my data, and if I did, there wouldn't be a video. So if you're seeing this, it means that somehow we pulled through. Anyway, I know this is sacrilegious, but I'm going to do the sheet music on the iPad, which I highly do not recommend. I wouldn't do that if it wasn't for the fact that I have commitment issues. And if I printed out the sheet music one more time, I've printed out like 10 times, okay, in the last 4 years. If I print it out one more time and lose it, I will lose it. And just by the way, my sight reading is worse than my muscle memory. So, and construction has started, so that's great. It's a good day to decide to do this. That was not perfect, but I made it. The perfectionist inside of me is screaming, but there's also like a little bit of pride for actually finishing the piece. Now, if you came for a video that ends up with me playing a piece perfectly, you're either looking for a musical genius or something that doesn't exist. And I am neither a musical genius nor am I fake. So that was me playing a piece that means a lot to me. I'm not gonna play it again. Because these things take time. If I push myself again and if I screw up again, I will probably never touch the piano again. And in the spirit of keeping it real, I would very much like to continue playing the piano now that I finally played it once. Yeah, there we go. That is called trial and failure and practicing and perfect and all those terms that are thrown at you or that you impose on yourself because you want to either be the best version of yourself or someone else wants you to be. And both are dangerous in their own way. The second because then you never know what you want. And the first because then you know exactly what you want. And both are scary. And as someone who's always been a perfectionist when it comes to playing the piano, and this is the only thing that I'm an actual perfectionist in, mind you. I don't really care about too many other things, but growing up this was one thing that I really cared about because I imposed it on myself. I just wanted to be really good at something, anything, at least one thing, you know? I wasn't the best in school. I wasn't very smart. I didn't get straight A's and I wasn't one of the top 3 students or whatever. And I was never sent to competitions and stuff, and I never did any of that. But every Wednesday when I would go to piano class, I would feel like I was actually good at something. And that matters a lot, especially to a child and especially to somebody's self-esteem. It matters a lot. And that's what piano was for me growing up. It was a way for me to be good at something and know that I was good at something and not be ashamed of that. To be able to perform in a concert and actually hear a round of applause at the end of it and knowing that I deserved it. That matters a lot. That matters so much to anybody. And I had that with the piano. And so when I had to stop, I felt like I was letting myself down and my teacher down, who I loved on many different levels, not just as a teacher. So when I stopped, it was a big blow to me and my self-esteem. And every time that I would try afterwards, in those 10 minutes that I would play every few months, I would not be able to do something and I would not be able to play it perfectly. And that would just hit me even harder. So the fact that I could get through a piece, not perfectly, but actually make it to the end, it's something. Maybe this is you with any hobby, with a random hobby. Maybe you like swimming, maybe you like playing basketball, maybe you like playing the guitar, maybe you like, I don't know, maybe you like math. You like it so much that you want to be the best at it. And sometimes you do end up the best at it. I was a very, very good pianist. I will not deny myself that truth because it was one thing that I was good at. But don't come to the state where if you make one mistake, you give it up entirely. Don't be that person because I am that person. Just know your limits, not of how good you are. No. Only anyone can be the best, honestly. Know your limits when it comes to how much you can push yourself. Because I pushed myself so hard that literally both my elbows pretty much broke just because of too much practicing. And tendonitis is something that you live with. It's not something that heals. So in the winters it still flares up and it still comes back. And I can literally tell when it's going to rain by my joints. I feel that old. So if nothing else, I'm a 21-year-old weather woman, which is nice, I guess. I don't have a moral for you today. I just have thoughts. On Wednesdays we have thoughts, and it's actually a Wednesday. If you play an instrument or if you are good at any form of music, then you know how beautiful it is to be able to make something. Even if you didn't compose. I can't compose. I can't improvise. I tried jazz piano. That isn't for me. That isn't me. I can't do it. And I felt bad about it for a while, but it's still something to be able to play somebody else's work and play it well. If you're a painter and you can paint something that you created, that's amazing. But if you're a painter and if you can copy something that somebody else painted and do it perfectly, that is also amazing. It is, of course, it's important to be original, but in some talents, it is a skill to just be able to master something. I have no idea where this conversation's going, but it's a lot. It's a lot of emotions for me to actually play the piano after 4 years and not get up from it in a fit of anger. It's a lot. Because every time I've come home in the holidays, I have looked at the piano. I have felt bad about not playing it, and then I have just avoided it. Maybe there's something else like that in your life. Maybe it's not a thing, maybe it's a person, maybe it's yourself, or maybe it's a part of yourself that you know you have to work on, but then you think about it, you know that maybe you have a temper, or you know that maybe you are too emotional or that whatever, and then you just avoid talking about yourself, talking to yourself about it. Everybody, I hope not alone here, has some area in their life, whether it's a materialistic thing or it's a physical aspect of yourself, that we all need to work on. And the first step to that is admitting that you have to work on it. For the longest time, I made up excuses about not playing the piano. Oh, I lost my book. Oh, I'm not as good as this other guy who has had no formal training. Oh, I can't even play the 7th grade pieces I used to play. Oh, I don't need to play it. I can play it when I'm older. Why do I have to play it all the time? But like, it was something that gave me joy. And if there's something that gives you joy and that you're worried about letting down, that's what the piano was for me. The piano was a real entity, a real person that I was afraid of letting down, that I didn't want to screw up. If there's somebody like that or something like that in your life, even if it's yourself, that you're so afraid of letting yourself down that you don't be the best version of yourself, maybe just sit down and do it. Even if it takes you 4 years. It's not going to give you a lot of happiness. This has not given me a lot of happiness, but it has given me a kick in my ass. And that is also something that sometimes you required. There we go. 4 years later. Bye.